Hi Megan and anyone else watching this video. My name is Haley and I am a freshman in college. I was really excited when I saw that you were doing this contest because I was one of those people who kind of had every emotion towards high school. It made me happy, it made me sad. There were times where I loved being in high school. There were times where I just wanted to go home and I wanted to go right to college. So I'm really excited that I can share some of my experiences and some advice and also answer some of your questions. I went through some of the user comments and I copied a couple of them so I could answer some questions, kind of generalize some of the more important topics of high school, and hopefully that can help not just the person who wrote the comment, but other people who have questions about that. So let's get started. One of the most nerve-wracking things I think is the first day of high school for freshmen. Um, and off of personal experience, I can say that my first day was probably not the best first day because I had the completely wrong schedule. Um, I like it was a bigger school. It was a lot older people in the school, not just me and the grade above us, which was in middle school, but you had seniors and juniors and even sophomores. Um, I think that was what made me most nervous is that they weren't going to like me and they were going to think I was like a little puny freshman with like my braces and stuff. But the first day I got to all of my classes and I made it there. I got lost a couple times, but pretty much made it there on time for every class, but every time they did attendance, my name wasn't called. So that kind of was like, all right, what's going on here? So at the end of the day, I went to the guidance office and they told me that I had the completely wrong schedule and here's my new one. So it was basically like I had two first day of school for freshman year, which kind of isn't good because freshman year, first day of school is very, very nerve-wracking. You don't know anything. Um, and if your friends aren't in your classes, you're kind of on your own. So that was a little bit nerve-wracking. So I guess my first piece of advice is that if your schedule is wrong, go to guidance as soon as possible because they won't call you and you'll go through the whole first day of school not being in any of your right classes. So I guess what I am trying to say though is that even though the first day can be kind of stressful, like you don't really know how it's going to play out, don't really stress about it too much because it is going to go by extremely fast and it's kind of funny to have like, yeah, it sucked at the time, but now I have a funny story about my first day of freshman year and I don't know, you can kind of joke about it once you get past that first day and are like a senior now and be like, oh yeah, back then in my freshman year, all this happened. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. And once you get through it, it's done and you have the whole year to look forward to. So don't really stress about the first day. It's really nothing. Another thing is that I learned quickly that the workload in high school is a lot different than it was in middle school. You get a lot more work and it is a lot harder. Um, I guess like what really got me through the work and kind of made me have good grades is that every time I went home, you really have to set aside like a good chunk of time to do your homework and to not have any distractions. So I kind of picked a room in my house and didn't bring my computer, didn't bring my phone. I just like set aside that time just for homework, just to really focus on it and get the work done. And like by the time senior year came, I knew I had a 10-page research paper that was worth a lot of my English grade. So as you go on through the different years, you do get a lot of work and it does get harder and you really do have to focus on getting it done and putting your full potential into your work so that you can get a good grade and have a good transcript to send to colleges so that you can get into the ones that you want to. Another big problem I know that people have in high school is finding your true friends and fitting in. And one of the biggest things that I can stress on people is to get involved in high school. I did dance team all 4 years of high school, and I met some of the best people there. And that's really how you meet people is you have to get involved in clubs. I also did 2 years of the drama club, and I liked that I did that because it kind of had two different groups of people, two different types of personalities, and that way I could meet a lot of different people and figure out really like which group I fit into and which personality type I kind of like I don't know, grew on and had more fun hanging out with. So I think you should get involved in a lot of different clubs because I don't know, you meet people who share the same interests as you, so that way you can find people who you get along with and who can really be lifetime friends. I don't know if that's the right. Um, I can't even talk. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But just get involved. It's fun. You find new interests and you meet a lot of new people. I think the most important thing, really, that kind of applies to all subjects on high school is really just making the most of it. Your experience in high school is what you make it, and if you don't want to have a good high school experience, then you're going to make it a bad one. And you really just have to be positive, even if bad things are happening during your time in high school. You really just have to make the most of it so that it is a good experience and kind of block out any bad things that are happening so that you can have a good experience and you can have stories and advice that you can give to other people who are about to go through high school because it really does help them out. And that's why I'm like really happy that this contest is going on, is because I think going through high school is one of the hardest things that you're going to have to do, but it's also one of the funnest things and most memorable things that you're going to have to go through. And having a good experience in high school and making the most of it really does help. Um, but I think just really my biggest piece of advice is to be yourself. And um, no one's gonna not like you for being yourself, because if you are fake and you aren't yourself, then people are gonna like you for that person. And then once your true colors come out, they're gonna be like, who is this person? Like, this is not who I became friends with. So I think really just being yourself and showing your true colors at first really helps you get through it easier, so that like once you get to the other years, you're like, okay, well, I have to keep up this fake personality so that people will stay friends with me. But if you start off right at the bat, you'll get friends who like you for who you are and who will be friends with you for whoever knows how long. But that's really just one of the most important things, I'd say. For those people out there who don't have a good high school experience and who may have had some things happen to them, such as like bullying and losing friends and maybe like relationships, breakups. Um, College is kind of a new beginning, and that might sound bad, but it really isn't. Like, if you go to a college, you may have some people in your high school that go to the same college, but if you go to some, like I know some people in my grade went to colleges where they were absolutely the only one from our school who went. It really is like a new beginning because no one knows who you are. You can start over if you had like a bad experience in high school. You can start over and make it a good one in college, and you meet. I can't even explain to you how many people you meet in college, um, and you may say like, well, once I go to college, like no one's gonna like me. I have a weird personality, like all this stuff. But I have met so many different personalities that you are guaranteed to find someone who is like you and who has the same interests and who wants to be your friend. And all right, so now I'm going to answer some of the comments that I went through and picked out a couple. I tried to pick ones that kind of touch on different subjects, but important subjects in high school. So the first question is from the Just Be Yourself, and she's has three other good friends that don't really include her in some things, and she feels like she's drifting away from them. I kind of went through that same experience. I had two other friends who were kind of childhood friends, and I came in like sophomore year, and they kind of did things by themselves and wouldn't really include me. But my biggest advice for that question would have to be to sometimes you have to step up and you have to put yourself out there at first and ask them to do things and be like, hey, let's go here, or like, hey, let's have a sleepover. Um, and once they kind of get used to that, they'll start including you. And if that doesn't start to happen, then they aren't worth your time and they shouldn't be your friends. I don't know. I think through this experience, you can really figure out if they are your true friends. Maybe even confront them and be like, hey, I noticed you haven't really been including me in some things, and that's kind of making me feel bad. And I would really like it if you invited me places. All right, so the next question is from Christelle Baby. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. And she says that she has a big problem with procrastination. And I saw this question and immediately picked it because I am the worst with procrastination. You can ask anyone that knows me, I am the queen of procrastination, and it stinks, but there is no cure for it, unfortunately. um, there are things that you can do that can get you focused and really make you get your work done and make it good work so that you get a good grade on it. Like I said before, you really just have to set aside a chunk of time to just get your work done and maybe like have someone there that could help you, like your parents or a friend that's in your class. But you have to really get rid of all distractions like your phone, your computer, anything that could possibly distract you from anything but your work. And it's just like 2 hours out of your day. Like it's not that much, even like 1 hour, just to get the work done and make sure that you're doing good. And maybe if you have like a local library or if your library at your school, you can stay after school maybe and get the work done in a quiet place that has no distractions. I mean, there's really nothing else I can say about that, but I know I do have that problem, and setting aside time where I can go to a quiet place does help me. The next question is from American Love 31, and she has a friend who is skinnier than her, and she sometimes feels a little put down by her weight, and she wants to know how to stay confident when around this skinnier friend. Um, I had a problem really with self-image in high school. I felt that I needed to be really skinny, and I needed to have perfect hair and perfect like facial features, I guess, so that people would like me and that guys would like me and want to be with me. And um, no matter what your body type is, there will always be someone there who will like you for who you are and what you look like. It's really all about inner beauty, I think, and your personality um, to get you the relationships that you want with friends and boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever you might want. But I know it is like tough having maybe like a someone who is skinnier than you, but you are who you are, and if it really does bother you, then there are steps that you can take, such as like eating a little healthier or maybe exercising like once or twice a week. But it really isn't that big of a deal, and I don't know if it really does bother you, you can do that. But if it doesn't, I would just say stay confident in who you are. You're beautiful, whether people may see it or not, and just have like you have to have a positive outlook on it, and that way that you can feel comfortable in your own skin, inside and out. So the last question is from Music 3 host, and she likes a guy who is on the football team, it looks like. But she wants to know if it's even worth dating someone in high school. I think it's definitely worth dating someone in high school. You can meet some great people through that. There are some relationships in high school that do last into college. Um, I mean, if you have that good bond and you really understand each other, then I think you really can make it work through college. But you really have to make sure that you're right for each other and that you do truly love each other, because you are tested in college. Because you may not go to the same college, you have to test and trust that person 100% that they will stay committed to you. So if you don't fully trust that person, then I think maybe it's not worth it to keep the relationship in high school. But if you do and you really do love them, then why not try and bring it on into college? And you really could start something great that could even end up in marriage if you're into that. But yeah, I do think it's worth dating people in high school. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you got some advice that can help you in your own high school experience, and that can also help you into going into college. Um, I love answering stuff like this, so if you have any questions, leave a comment below or a video response. Um, Otherwise, have a good experience in high school. Like I said, your experience is what you make it. So just really have a positive attitude about it, and don't be anything that you aren't. Just really be yourself, because it'll be beneficial in the long run, I promise. So I'll see you guys later. Bye. Aimed it. If they turn these lights off on me, I'm gonna. And they won't turn back on. There we go. I don't even remember what I was saying anymore.